Then the other one, 𝗏𝗏, right? The one. What movie was that already?
There's too many movies I also forgotten, but when you watch it the time, then you know, right?
Yeah.
Okay, can you actually view it on Facebook? I'm just curious.
I can't.
Yeah, same here. Alan, maybe you want to help us to do something. Oh, okay, finally. We got it already. Okay. Yeah, 𝗂𝗵𝗿. So finally I've seen it already. And okay, I mean, let's start now. We actually have Ki Hong on the line, Arvin, while Alan is taking a look at the Facebook. Let's start on time because we actually have a lot of stories to cover tonight, and we do not want to keep people waiting. So eventually, when we go on Facebook Live, then those people will be able to watch because it's going to be delayed anyway. So good evening, everyone. My name is 𝗂𝗏, and I'm your host tonight. I'm also the founder of J Advisory. If this is the first time you are coming on to this show, we actually started this turnaround webinar series essentially because J Advisory is specializing in helping people turn around their finance so that they can have a better quality of life and not lose sleep, right? So I'm very grateful for Kenny to be on this show. He is the second person that said yes to my invitation. So a bit of the backstory, right, Kenny? How this whole thing came out was very funny as I was sharing or finding certain question for my book project. I was basically asking, what is the typical age or the first, what was your age when you first hit your first financial crisis? So, and then in this entrepreneur and startup group, right, I think Kenny was one of the first people who actually answered, and when I went through his comments in my heart, no offense, Kenny, in my heart I was thinking like, wow, why so TVB? TVB is like a Hong Kong drama series, right? So I was thinking like, is it true or not? But there's nothing for him to benefit for him to, con me, right? So eventually when I invited him and he graciously said yes, and he was started to sharing with me some of his photos and videos, right? Then, oh my God, it's really real. So for those of you who are able to join us tonight, you are in for a roller coaster ride. So we have Kenny Yeoh, who is a trainer, entrepreneur, and a cat lover, founder of Risotto Training and Consultancy, right? So he will share with us on how he actually first hit his financial problem at 13. And really, there's a lot of roller coaster, and hopefully we have enough time to really go through it. So you want to kick the ball start rolling now. Maybe you want to introduce yourself, Kenny, by sharing what are you doing? I think because earlier we had some conversation, and then for the benefit of our FB Live viewers as well as our Zoom viewers, you share what are you busy with, especially this last one.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Now, first of all, thank you, 𝗂𝗏, for you being graciously to invite me on your show. All right. That being said, right, when 𝗂𝗏 posted the entire financial crisis, or what was the first age? I mean, what was your earliest financial crisis? At what age you actually hit your financial crisis, right? It actually hits me a lot when I saw this kind of topic. Now, despite the outlook of me, I'm actually very tall. Despite the outlook of me being big, tall, those kind of like, wow, big figure, but I'm actually very, very sentimental inside. Okay, and when I saw that topic, it instantly hits me because how my life has actually been around was always around the word of financial. My financial was always up and down since I was young, and truth is, I'm not like any other smarter kids outside there who when they have one single incident in life and then they learn from it. I'm a little bit more stupid. I had to go through a few incidents in my life before I decide to turn around and be a better person. Now, fortunately, I had these few incidents very early on in my life. I'm actually only 27 this year. Now, that being said, at this moment, I'm a trainer. Although not really a full-time trainer anymore, because I have ventured into starting different businesses. Right now, we actually have two different traditional Chinese medicine clinic. I'm also running a new, what is it called? E-marketplace platform for farmers. Okay, that aside, I have a tea trading company and a training provider company. And myself, actually a crypto enthusiast. I do trade quite a bit in crypto. So if any guys out here that really love crypto, or you guys are looking at how Bitcoin, Ethereum, Polkadot, Cardano, XRP are moving, put in a one. Let me know that you guys are like, oh, crypto, or even made some money during the crypto bubble as well. So put in the comment below. I'll be very happy to be connecting with you guys, because I'm one of those people that love talking about crypto. But anyway, today is not really about crypto. Today is really about my roller coaster story, the 𝗵𝗵𝗵 story that I had earlier. Sorry.
No, I think you wanted to show your cat lover to prove that you are really real cat lover, right?
Yes. Arvin, yep. Crypto future digital currency. I would say at this moment, crypto is very much into future digital commodities. Currency, not so much, yes, because we really do not know how it is going to evolve in the future. But at this moment, cryptocurrency is looking more like a commodities. It's just like gold. You cannot take the gold, go outside, just want to buy a 𝗱𝗏𝗏. So same like Bitcoin. The actual use is not a lot, but our human value it so much. Yeah, but anyway, that's another topic, a whole other topic to start with. Now back to the story of my 𝗵𝗵𝗵 story. Where should I start? All right. When I was super young, probably like 6 to 7 years old, at that time, my father actually inherited a lot of money from my grandfather. Well, we are talking about 4 to 5 million ringgit, 20 over years ago. Right? 4 to 5 million ringgit.
You mind me asking, what was your grandfather an entrepreneur as well, or business person?
I think my grandfather is a very good explorer. Last time when you explore a single land, and then if you are fierce enough to claim that land, the land become yours. You know what I'm saying? So he had a lot of land. He had a lot of estate land. I'm very fortunate because his land is all in Sepang, and all of them are all those palm oil and everything. And at one point, about 10 years ago, palm oil was booming and things like that. So my family actually sold off a lot of palm oil here. He had about like 7 or 8 children, and each of them had 4 to 5 million ringgit. And that was how much the estate was.
Wow.
Well, 4 to 5 million ringgit was quite a big money like 20 years ago.
A lot. Nowadays, even in today's standard, it's quite a lot also, man.
Right. Yeah, but at today's standard, it's not so much as compared to last time. I mean, like last time 4 to 5 million ringgit is really a lot. Now, at that moment, we were very happy. We were in a very comfortable zone, and I grew up in that kind of environment for my younger days, younger days of my life. Somewhere around 7 to 10 years old, I guess, somewhere around that. So eventually, my father, like any other rich man, sudden acquired of richness, he actually started to develop this sickness of gambling, which is rather troubling. All right, so he constantly go up to Genting and things like that. At one point, I still remember. At one point, he come up. He would let us know that he actually lost 450,000 in the night, things like that. And it's crazy. Up until one point, I still remember very deeply into my mind that at that time he actually had an argument with my mom. I think it was around 10 or 11 years old. I can't really remember. So he was disappeared for a few days, and when he came back, he told us that he lost everything. Has lost everything.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So
and what age were you at that time?
At that time, I think I was around 11 or 12 years old. I can't really remember. I cannot really remember, but I was around 11 or 12 years old. Now, at that moment of time, I was actually still in primary school. You know, he has lost almost everything. That time, my mom and my dad, they were running a restaurant in Taman Lengseng itself, Cheras Taman Lengseng. If anyone out there is in Taman Lengseng, has been living in Taman Lengseng for the past 20 years, then you should know about 𝗏𝗏𝗏, okay? So my mom and my dad used to run 𝗏𝗏𝗏, this restaurant, which is like super big restaurant, 𝗧𝗏𝗏. So yeah, they lost everything, and that night they had to sell the restaurant itself. Then we had a little bit of money upon selling the entire business for us to really move into to survive for another year. And when it comes to me going to 13 years old, that is when it really hits us hard. At that point of time, we are literally penniless. And I still remember it very deeply into my mind that this is part of my motivation to be really going out right now. That at that time, my mom actually loved her car. She had a CRV at that time. The car plate was WHX3128. Okay, Chinese people always have that 8. Okay, I do remember. And what happened was that car itself is a pride, it's a joy. You know, it's like kind of a face figure, things like that. So she eventually had to sell off the car. But before she sold off the car, we actually went to our relative to say that, hey guys, can you guys like really help us out right now? And what really entrenched in my mind was, at that point, this relative of mine, which I don't really consider a relative anymore, but he actually took out a few $100 and just threw it on us. My mom was on her knees at that time because we didn't really have money to eat anymore. So we were on our knees and he just threw some money to us. And at that point of time, my mom was completely broken. When she sold off the car, I can see that the joy, the sense of pride in herself is completely gone. Completely gone.
I go down the drain.
Yeah, it's really destroyed. I would say it's really destroyed. Her entire, whatever that she had, you know, whatever pride that she had was entirely destroyed. And at that point of time, my dad decided to run away. Well, it's not the best dad when I'm growing up, but right now he's a good dad. So he decided to run away, and my mom decided to start a small 𝗧𝗵𝗏 last time at the site of Jinjiang. Decided to start a small 𝗧𝗵𝗏. And that time we were 13 years old. I still remember at that time, we were so poor that every day we were eating porridge at that time. Porridge. What happened was, we just put in a little bit of minced meat and you know the ABC vegetable, the frozen vegetables. Yeah. We just added in a little bit. We try to be very positive with each other, especially me and my mom, that you know, we talk to each other, we tell each other that, hey, this is very healthy, you know, we are on the healthy lifestyle. But actually the truth of the fact is we really don't have any money to eat. To eat anything good, we really don't have any money. Oh no, sorry. Before we started the 𝗧𝗵𝗏, she was working in 𝗧𝗏𝗏, the Aeon there, you know, as a promoter and things like that. So
yeah, you did mention earlier.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot about that. It's a long memory past that. But anyway, she was working in that, and then we were eating porridge and telling each other that how healthy it is. But deep down inside, we know that it's not healthy, you know. Actually, it's really because we couldn't afford it. Yeah.
I remember when we were young that time, right? We used to eat porridge with the 𝗁𝗏𝗏, you know, those canned sardine, which is with the black minced meat one, the black beans.
Yeah.
So the time, I think we came from a family which is not very well to do as well. And I guess nowadays, when we start eating back that kind of food, right, it brings back a lot of those nostalgic kind of feeling, you know. Right.
Yeah. You know, I eventually developed a habit that I still carry until today. You know, if anyone on the line that you guys have the same habit, right, please let me know that I'm not alone, okay? I have this habit of usually eating the good things at the end of the meal. So it's like if I have a chicken drumstick. I have vegetables, I have rice. I will finish the rice, the vegetable, then only I eat the chicken drumstick.
Same here, same here.
So, you know, same. Yeah, because it's developed at that time that, you know, I try to finish the bubo, I try to finish the ABC beans before I eventually eat the little bit meats that is in the porridge. And it really develops the habit of eating whatever that I like at the end. You know, my brother always call this 窮人食飯 poor man eating.
I want to choke you for a while because Kenny, I think I can really feel the emotions when you were sharing the story. But I also want to acknowledge the people that is with us. And I'm sure that any of the audience right now, if any questions that you have, please feel free to type into the comment box as well. Especially like just now what Kenny was mentioning, like if any of you who also have the habit of eating the best ingredients last, like the drumstick he was mentioning, you want to type drumstick at the comment section. Before I ask you another question, I just want to acknowledge the people that are around. Perhaps they are your friends as well. I know some of them are from our Telegram subscribers. You got Arvin, Jason, hi Joseph, Ki Hong, Mark. I think Amy was here just now. Is she still here? So for those of you who are also listening to us, oh, okay, Kenny, you typed drumstick already. So for those of you who are listening to us on FB Live, if you can hear us loud and clear, you got any question, say hi, give Kenny some encouragement, because I think it is not easy for somebody to be able to share such intimate details. And he has promised us that, if you got any questions, he is very open to answer, right, Kenny?
Yeah.
So I just got a question, Kenny. Before you proceed, I was about to ask you, do you have any siblings? But then just like you mentioned, you have a brother. So how are you the eldest in the family?
No, I'm not the eldest. I have a brother. Well, my brother is 10 years old older than me. He too has gone through some pretty hard times as well. Yeah, because when we were poorest, he was actually in China. Remember that earlier on I shared we actually have two TCM clinic right now. Now both of them are actually partnered with my mother to actually start the two TCM clinic. Now my brother was actually studying in 𝗵𝗲 at that time. So what happened was we were so poor we couldn't really send money to him, and he had to sleep in hospital and eat hospital food for almost a few years actually. So yeah, he has his
Not bad,
Sorry? Yeah.
Not bad, have to go to hospital and eat hospital food.
Yeah, because we didn't have money to send to him. We didn't. We whatever that we have, it was just sufficient to pay for his student fee and things like that. So, truth is, he really don't have any money more to eat, and he had to sleep in the hospital bed. It was a very depressing moment for all of our families at that time. Now, continue back to the story.
Yeah, please.
Fast forward all the hardship during the my secondary school years. Now, during the secondary school years, unfortunately, I developed a very naughty behavior, and I really didn't like to study. Okay, at that point of time, I really didn't like to study. Now, and then what happened was I screwed up my SPM so bad. Okay, that was my first serious fucked up. Is swearing allowed in the show?
I forgotten to tell everybody in the audience today. Today is 18 and above. So yeah, you feel free to swear, not because you want to, but I mean sometimes the emotion, if you cannot, you have to unleash it. Yeah, please by all means.
Yeah. Okay. By the way, hi Jack. Hi JT. Hey, long time no see you. But the 𝗵𝗃 is actually one of my friend. We were in a WhatsApp group together. Hey, buddy. By the way, yeah. Okay, I will try to control whatever.
Sorry, don't have to control. Let it all out, man. Let it all out, man. We want to listen to the authentic and the real Kenny.
Yeah. So my first fuck up was actually when I was graduating from high school. Like many other kids who didn't grow up in a very good condition, I actually had a lot of friends who is not really focusing all that much in study. Okay, focusing all that much in study. So what happened was I screwed up my A level so bad. Now I shared earlier. I'm not sure if I shared earlier on. I actually graduated from law school, and the reason why I actually selected law school at that point of time was because when you go into law school, you can go in with A levels, and A levels really didn't need the SPM. So that was the main reason why.
Oh, cool! Congratulations! You didn't share with me that you graduated law.
Oh, is it? Yeah, I graduated in law school. I graduated from 𝗵𝗲 College, but the main reason I went in was because I didn't have enough credits for any other subjects. But that aside, during my high school years, during my college years, while I was doing my college, I've been in the sales line. That was actually my first job. I've been always selling so that I can actually cover up my own student expenses and things like that. Now, then I started selling, and I really love selling. I really love talking with people. I really love connecting with people. Now, also because of that, I became very, very good in selling. Okay, I became very, very good in selling. At the age of 20, once I graduated, I think at the age of 24 or something like that, 23 or 24, I was actually earning a decent amount of income at that time. Okay, at that time I was actually earning a decent amount of income. I was living a very good life. My mom is actually happy. My dad is actually happy. Now, unfortunately, what I didn't learn from my dad was, you got to preserve all of those wealth. You got to preserve who you are. You got to preserve who authentically you are. And after a really bad breakup, instead of learning from my dad, I become another version of my dad. I allow myself to indulge into women's. If you guys are very familiar with Thai club or things like that, I hope you guys don't. But I indulge myself in that kind of scene. I end up drinking alcohol almost every night. I end up drinking, womanizing, going around playing with women and things like that. At that point of time, I was sleeping so late every day, 4 to 5 o'clock every day, so late that I didn't really have the energy to work hard anymore. And I end up scrutinizing the one thing that my boss hated the most is doing the one thing that my boss hated the most, that is breaking the integrity of a sales, which I was faking sales at that point of time. And then eventually, I lost my job. All right, I lost my job. Yeah, I lost my job, and then I spent all of my monies with drinking, with hanging flowers to the pretty girl in Thai club. Okay, hanging flowers, going out to eat Thai food and things like that. I even developed the ability to speak in Thai language.
Wow.
Okay, and at that point of time, I still remember I was starting to hit rock bottom, but I didn't want really to face it. I always thought that, this one up in the water lah. I can just find one good opportunity, one perfect opportunity, one perfect sales opportunity, I would rebound back. So it's okay. Next month, I will get an 8,000 pay job, and then I will continue. I will be able to pay this. And what happened was I slowly depleted all of my savings. And instead of using all my savings, I started lending money from people. I started doing the credit card thingy and everything. Now, that was before I hit my biggest drop of my point. My biggest drop of my point was when I still remember it was 31st of December. If you guys notice the car picture, right? The car, the picture that we shared earlier on, on 31st of December, earlier on, I was drinking in a club in 𝗵𝗲 at that time.
Can I share your photo, Kenny?
Can, no problem. You can share the photo. Yeah. So
continue.
yeah. So while I was drinking at the club there, I had a call from my friend. So my friend was like, hey, 𝗪𝗵𝗃 switch location or let's go to 𝗧𝗵𝗲, the pub in 𝗧𝗵𝗲. Now, without saying further, it's a Thai club also. Okay, but anyway, I decided to say yes. Okay, so what happened was I drove there after I drank 4 freaking towers. I was absolutely trashed. Okay, and while I was driving there, I'm not sure if you guys, audience, are actually familiar with Jalan Lok Yew. If you guys are familiar with Jalan Lok Yew, you know how big is Jalan Lok Yew. So all the way from Jalan Lok Yew, after you pass by the 𝗵𝗲 home, you need to turn to your left and then you reach a roundabout before you go to the 𝗧𝗵𝗲. From the most right lane, I was driving, I think 140 or 150, I do not remember, but I was freaking fast. And I swerved all the way to the left lane in just like 100 to 200 meters. And I end up crashing my car.
Shit.
The car was a few rounds, you know, for a few rounds. And I remember inside it, I was like Jackie Chan, you know. I feel like, you know, things is like Jackie Chan is turning like that, man. And I was lucky enough for the car to actually land on the tire itself instead of turtling itself. And when I went down, when I saw the 4x4, the first thing that I did was I tried to look inside whether is a guy, you know, sitting inside the car. Am I looking at myself inside the car? Am I dead or whatever it is? I wasn't dead. I was lucky enough I wasn't dead. The car crashed really badly. It was a 4x4 that was completely trashed, total. You know, every time I show to people that car, people can barely recognize that car anymore. Now, what hits me really hard is this. Some guy actually took me off to this clinic. Then when I came back, I actually called my parents before that. And when I came back, I was there inside the Good Samaritan. Actually, not very Good Samaritan. He's a call guy. He's a call man. So like helping me to deal with my car things. My mom, my parents were there, and I saw on my mom literally lost her soul. That was the second time I saw my mom literally broken. Literally broken. She was down there squatting, coming up, and she really didn't know what is going on because the car is trashed so bad. People around there is saying that, you know, this guy confirm 打包咗啦，冇可能咗㗎啦, all this. But I was alive. And I saw my mom was literally broken there. And I really started asking myself that, hey, Kenny, what the fuck, man? You know?
When I saw the photo you sent to me, I couldn't believe that was the actual car that you drove. Imagine the 4x4 is flatter than a Porsche, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's flatter. It looks like a freaking Porsche, right?
Yeah.
It was crazy.
So
crazy.
How do you get out unscratched? I mean, did you figure out eventually?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe some divine intervention or something. The only hurt that I have was a little bit of scar over here. I'm not sure if it is visible. So it's here. So it looks like I fall down from a motorbike actually. Okay, looks like I fall down from a motorbike. But anyway, that was the second time I saw my mom completely lost. And I asked to myself this one question, Kenny. What have you really forgotten all this while? You know, you have kind of made it, given them a little bit of good life, but then you crash it all over again, simply because of one single word. Ego and the needs to please the friend around you. The need to be the people that people look up, oh, this guy is doing great, you know, he's having this kind of lifestyle. Yeah, that's the car, by the way. That's the car, by the way.
Yeah, when I saw this, right,
what brand is
I
this
couldn't even guess it's a car. He didn't tell me 4x4. I thought it's just a normal sedan, you know.
Yeah, it's a 4x4, by the way. Yeah.
Can I show the video as well? Can I show the video as well?
Yeah, please, you can share the video as well.
Yeah, for those of you who like to take a guess what car is it, you want to type your answers in the comment section.
Yeah. Anyway, let's continue with the story. It's almost ending, yeah, guys. I promise you guys the TVB story was almost ending. So upon the accident itself, I decide to really have a check on my life. I decided to stop drinking. Well, actually, I do not have a choice because of the accident and everything. I was traumatized a little bit, so I really stopped drinking. And while I had a Toyota Hilux, close. I had a. Oh yeah, are you sharing the video? Let's.
Is it okay if I share now?
Yeah, sure.
This was after the incident, a few months later, is it?
This was, I'm not sure, I can't remember anymore. Yeah. My name is bad. The entire car is terrible. Yo, hi Jonathan. Hi Jonathan.
Hi Vivian.
It's your tarot card business, Jonathan. Is everything going well on your end? Yeah, so that's the car, by the way. That's the car that I totaled. And one thing that I really wanted to add, that car didn't even belong to me. That car was actually my father's boss car, and I trashed my father's boss car, made my father almost lost his job at that point of time. A 20 over years old guy irresponsibly decided to trash his life, trash his job, just because of ego, just because of indulgence, and never really learn from it. Right? And the second part that really hit me the most during the entire incident that makes me wake up was I had this opportunity to have this one interview with a new company because I lost my job. For a few months I was unemployed. Now, while I was driving to there, I was too ego and trying to protect my face too much that I didn't even want to ask for my parents a little bit of money. I was completely penniless. I had zero in my pocket at that time. And while I was driving there in my old Waja, I tried to scrap around the entire car just to hope that I have 2 ringgit and 10 cents. No, actually at that time was 1 ringgit and 60 cents, so that I can pass the LDP toll. At that point of time, I had to take the toll, otherwise I would be extremely late for the meeting. And I still remember while I was scraping, finding for the 2 ringgit and 1 ringgit and 60 cents, literally cents, yeah. I was really asking myself, what the fuck, Eddie? What was happening to you? You know, you were looked up by almost everyone while you are growing up. You know, people always thought that, you know, people that come from a hardship family are very highly motivated, should be in the right path, you know, going the right future and things like that. But here you are trying to scrape 1 ringgit and 60 cents from whatever toll that you are having in front of you, and it really, and I really cannot face myself. I was like, shit, man, what have you done with your life? And that hits me really hard. That hits me so hard that when I reached to the HR, when we sat down, even before he introduced, I very quickly, I just told them, hey, I'm Kenny, and the main reason that I'm here today, I want to score this job. I don't care how much you're going to pay me, I want to work for you and give me this opportunity. Just, and I think without even going through the entire experience, he was shocked over it. He was like,
yeah, okay. I think you're one of the most aggressive interviewee that they interviewed that day.
Yeah, it was like, oh, okay, wait, you, okay, any scenario, I cannot remember the exact reaction already, but it was really, really funny. I ended up landing up the opportunity in that job. That was actually a training job. That was actually my first training consultant job. Now, after the job, then I started to do some self-development as well. What I really realized along the entire journey was, I always have this tendency to what do I do? When I have any problem, like maybe many entrepreneurs out there, when I face problems, when I face challenges, when I face hardship, I tend to keep all of this hardship by myself. And I wanted to show the best picture, so to persuade everyone that I'm doing super, super good. Okay? I always thought that people would care about what I'm facing. People will feel like, yeah, you very weak. You know, I always have that perception. If I share this out, people will think that I'm very weak. But truth is, guys, if you look at my Facebook or my social media, you'll find that, hey, this guy is actually living a pretty decent life and things like that. You know, he's been sharing good things. I'm sure he's making very good money and things like that. But truth is, everyone has their own problem that they are facing right now. And to be honest, the ability for you to be able to confront whatever that you're having, to be able to share whatever that you are facing right now, is really, really important. Because the ability to be vulnerable is your ability to face the truth. You see, most of the time, what happened was when we have a problem, we tend to look away from the problem. Instead of looking at the problem, we look away from other things so that we hope that thing will miraculously just disappear one day. And let me share with you guys that hope is the most dangerous strategy out there, because when you're hoping for something, it means that you don't have a strategy at all. And it's not good work. You know, if anyone on the line here, right, had this same experience where, you know, you have a problem over there, problem A, and you decide like, okay, let's just leave the problem a little bit, okay? And I focus on something else. And when you come back, problem A become problem A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Initially a small problem, eventually become bigger and bigger and bigger. All right? And that's what happened a lot of time when people are actually procrastinating a problem. And that was what happened to me back then.
Very easy to manage.
Pardon?
No, I couldn't agree with you more, Kenny, because many people that came to us trying to resolve their financial problem, initially it's very small, which is can easily solve it one. But it's because of their hope and pray, and then they don't do anything about it. Then eventually it balloons into something which is out of control, no?
Correct. Yeah. So at the end of the day, the ability for us to be unstoppable, the ability for us to tap into whatever potential that we have, is when the moment when you decide to put down every single thing in your life and focus on solving whatever problems that you have. At that point of time, I was too embarrassed. I was holding too much of an ego to beg for a job. I was unemployed for a long while. I was hoping to get a good salary. Huh?
How long, Kenny?
I cannot exactly remember, but it's somewhere more like 5-6 months, something like that. But it was a long period of unemployment. And you know, being in a sales job, I was hoping for my ex-sales salary, my past sales job salary. I was hoping for that kind of package, good package, this and that. Truth is, I'm nothing at that time. You know, wow, you can say that you are very good in selling, but truth is, I'm just a 20-odd years old guy, you know, who have very little experience, who has just one sales job experience under his belt, and I'm asking a lot of things simply because my ego I wasn't able to put down my ego. You see?
I just want to ask you another question, right? You were mentioning how you were devising a plan to sort of pay off your debt, and basically that story, no? Can you share with us more? How did you eventually get into that situation?
Yeah, sure. Eventually, when I landed to the job and I look back to the debts, and I told myself that this one thing, hey, Kenny, you know what? Right now, let's not focus on every single thing else in your life, but focus on building back yourself to the right direction. Stop looking away. Stop being a pussy and look away. Look at the happy things, look at the fun things, go to watch some video on YouTube. Stop doing all of those things. Focus on your problems. If the problems is there, focus on it. And I started devising a plan that maximum, this is how much that I can earn. I end up bringing lunch box to work every day. And then eventually I made a little bit enough, save up a little bit enough of money. I devised a plan to pay back all of my creditors or my friends, in this case my friends, slowly paying them back. But at the same time, I devised also a part of the money to actually save up for a fastest way for me to start something as a side hustle. And at that point of time, my side hustle was going to sell things in Pasar Malam. Coming as someone who finished his law graduate, used to earn a decent amount of money, I had to ask myself this one question. do you have another choice? Do you have another better choice right now? You know, yeah, selling in pasar malam is not the greatest thing in the world, right? I still have those pictures in my Facebook that while I was selling in pasar malam days. And in fact,
I don't think
when I picked up, yeah.
I don't think it's only you. I think majority of the people, I mean, inclusive of myself, when we used to work in, or we used to get a degree or work in some high-paying job, suddenly when, you know, similar to this kind of pandemic and crisis, right, and we are forced to get our hands dirty, I think a lot of people, like what you say, like, you know, would rather focus on, you know, waiting for something better to come along rather than going and facing getting the hands dirty, right?
Yeah.
Said it very well.
To be honest, a man gotta do what a man gotta do. Be it getting your hands dirty, be it whatever it is. What is the best solution for you right now? If the best solution for me right now is to sell food, then go sell food. Stop holding on your ego as it is something that defines you. You know, human has this wonderful nature that we hold on into past memories or even your ego as this is something that defines you. You know, it's not. It's not. To be honest, what really defines us is what we define ourselves. See, people, right? People, when people look at you, right? People will, okay, this is Kenny, right? This is Kenny. He's not going, whether it's successful, whether it's not successful, truth is we don't know. We cannot hear whatever others is thinking about us. But what we perceive is, oh, I think this guy is thinking I'm stupid. When we don't even know whether what this guy is thinking, you know? So it's not
what other people
are thinking about us. Huh?
It's all in the head lah.
Yes, it's all ourselves. It's all ourselves that giving meanings to things. Things does not have meaning until we give the things meaning. And this kind of meaningless meaning is what really stopping us. And at that point of time, going back to that story, I started selling, ironically, I fall with Thai, I start with Thai again. Okay, I started selling Thai drinks, Thai food, Thai snacks. You know, at one point, people are very crazy about going to Thailand, 7-Eleven, and that kind of things. So I decided my smart ass decided to import some Thailand snacks, come into Malaysia and started selling. Okay, so if you guys are familiar with pasar malam, always in pasar malam, if you remember the Thai detergent, okay, 𝗵𝗏 they call it. I was the first few guys who actually brought that thing in. Okay. And
nice.
From there onwards, I made a little bit of small money back from my investment. And yeah, then my life just took off from there onwards. Now, one of the biggest things that I always wanted to share with anyone out there is this. Wherever that you see entrepreneurs out there, they always display the most rosiest picture, the handsome picture, the good living, the good income, the good car, good women, good food, good whatever it is. But they do not show you that they too are human. Now trust me guys, trust me on this. They are human and they are facing some sort of shit right now. Same like you, same like me, same like everyone on the stream. They are facing some sort of shit right now. And there's no point for you to be guilt or to be shame of whatever that you are facing right now. Okay? Because for you to be guilt, for you to be shame, your first reaction will be start running away from it. And until you actually face it, until you actually grieve it, until you actually, you know, push through it, you will never solve all of those problems. And the first step in doing all of those is by recognizing that you have a problem. Awareness before changes. You see? And I really wanted to tell you guys, all of you guys, is that please do not be ashamed of whatever that you are facing right now. If you are having some sort of difficulties, remember this. 99.9999% of anyone in the world are facing some sort of difficulties. Like you, like me, like everyone else. So you're not alone. You are just like us. We are all like, you know, little ducks on the pond. You know, look like very calm up there, but paddling like mad down there.
I couldn't agree more. I used to have this problem where somebody was telling me, right, if you're, in case you're worrying about not having shoes, when you look to the person next to you, right, the person doesn't have legs, So be grateful for what you have. Yeah. So we're gonna take some questions because we actually have some questions from the audience. Amy is asking, Kenny, because you went through 3 experiences of sort of turning around, right? What is the most valuable lesson learned from those 3 experiences?
The most valuable lessons that I learned from all of those 3 lessons is, okay, this is what I really learned, let me see how I put it first. When we are facing some sort of problems, or when we want to make some sort of decisions in life, we often are very worried this, worry that, worry this. I scared this will happen, I scared that will happen. Like, let's say going to life, I scared that people would think, I scared that when I do not well, and then people would think I'm stupid, people would think that I'm not capable enough, people would think that, why this guy so boring, this kind of things, okay? I scared this, I scared that. All this hesitation, why do we have hesitation? Why do we hesitate from going out from our comfort zone? The reason why we do that is, you see, our brain is this wonderful object that haven't evolved for the past many, many years. From prehistoric days until today. And one thing that it kept the most is what we call hesitation and fear. So why hesitation and fear? Because long time ago, it prevents our monkey brain to go and poke the dinosaur balls and getting eaten by the dinosaur itself. Okay, so it actually sets up a system in your brain that is called spotlight effect. So what is spotlight effect is, before you do anything that puts you out of your comfort zone, you actually spotlight every single problem become very big problem. Okay, now that was what happened a lot of time. Okay, especially when I thought I was asking myself that, I want to go to become a sales executive back then. I was a sales manager back then, People would look down on me, I would look like stupid, and that kind of stuff. I go to drink, cannot pay for tips, man. Wow, people would think that I'm poor. If people think that I'm poor, then how? All of these things will start happening. And what did I learn the most out of it is start asking this one question of, so what? Today, if I don't, you see, our monkey brain always put problem, the biggest put benefit, the smallest. Okay? Today, if I become back a sales executive, so what? Well, people might think that I'm weak. So what? People think that I'm weak. Well, I might not seem so strong anymore. So what? That I might not seem so strong anymore. I might not be an influencer among them. So what if I'm not an influencer anymore? Actually nothing. Actually nothing.
Yeah, I love that technique because actually I heard of that. Somebody was teaching me using this technique called so what, and it is something which helps you to calm down your, like what you say, like the primitive mind, right? To actually show you that there's nothing to be worried about, like at the end of the day. So you will ask that question until to the point that, hey, okay, ma, just move on, right?
Just move on, right? So every time, if anyone had the had to put you into some sort of uncomfortable situation, you have to make some sort of uncomfortable decision. You wanted to get out of somewhere, and you are having this thought process of, I don't know what will happen, I'm hesitating. Just ask yourself, so what? Ask yourself 10,000 million times, so what? Until you will discover that the problem is actually this small, just a pinky small problem. But we often make the problem become so big and end up not doing things and end up staying where we are. And you see, even when it comes to solving my own problem, my biggest poison was running away from my problem. My biggest problem was being ashamed of where I am at that point of time. And when I remove all of this shame, all of this guilt, that's where I truly had the freedom to fly. Yeah, so I hope I answered that question from Amy.
Nice. Amy, hope you answered that question. To the audience, if you've got any question or Kenny, please feel free to type into the comment box. While you're typing, I've got some questions for Kenny. So just like you mentioned, Kenny, because initially your dad left, so basically you all are back together now.
Yes. Before, well, I've completely forgiven my dad.
Yeah, that's a very,
it,
very big-hearted thing to do. Not everybody can do it.
There's still a lot of drama that happens with my family, but I'm not sharing those because it was more relevant to my mom, and if I shared all of those, it will end up becoming another TVB session. So, but anyway, I actually forgive my dad completely, wholeheartedly. The reason is because I think I have made mistakes. My dad have made mistakes. You know, being longer on the earth doesn't mean that you are wiser. Being longer on the earth doesn't make you a saint. Being longer on the earth doesn't exclude you from being a sinner. Everyone is a sinner. Everyone will make mistakes. Yep. Parents or not parents, father or not father, mother or not mother, they are also learning from life. They are also learning from life. They are also doing this life thing the first time in their life. So
exactly. I guess what you're trying to say is also that it's not about the making mistakes, but it's how fast you learn from the mistakes, right?
Yeah, in a way, how far you will learn from the mistakes, and how fast you are willing to learn from mistakes, and how far you are willing to go to amend those mistakes. That is very, very important. He actually showed a lot of sincerity in terms of amending it. He has been the hardest worker for the past few years, 3 to 4 years. He has been the hardest worker out there for the past 3 to 4 years, and I'm really grateful to have my mother around. Although he's not, he didn't give me the best childhood ever. Did not really give me the best childhood ever, but he gave me one thing that no one else can give me: a life. He gave me one thing that no one else could have given me: an experience. Experience that belongs to me. I always say this: life experience is like durian. Durian kampung, to be exact. You really never know how the experience is going to be like until you open up, until you taste it. You know, you never know durian kampung. Hey, this durian kampung is sweet, is bitter, or whatever it is. You never really know until you actually taste it. Yeah.
Another question that I have for you is because it's not easy. Most people, when they hit their first crisis, they sort of lose steam and drop dead, but you actually went through 3 and still have the energy and motivation to continue on. If there's one person who you would say is the catalyst or the fuel to your motivation, who would that be?
My mom. My mom. Well, my mom is the most loving person that I've ever known in my life. I was really, at one point I was really, I completely broke her, I would say. When she was broken the first time, when she saw off the CRV that she had, I told myself that I would never allow my mom to have that kind of emotion again. I would work hard. I would never allow my mom to have that kind of emotion again. Well, I did that. When I had that, I indulged into whatever that I was having at that point of time. I lost myself. I was just indulging into movements. I was just indulging into alcohols at that time. And with that indulgence itself, I made my mom to go through the same experience that she had to go through. The first time she lost her pride, which was the CRV, her soul was completely gone. And on the second time, she thought she lost me. And she was even more gone at that time. When you look at her, she's completely blacked out. And when I walked to her, she just ran to me and hugged me and asked me, "Are you really alive?" And it's just, what the hell? You know, the one thing that you can give her to your mom, the one thing that you promise yourself to give your mom, you end up taking it away and just allow your mom to go through the entire process again. You know, and it hits me really, really hard. And what hits me really hard was, wow, 廿幾歲人啊，一溝六角切你都係炒車底出嚟喎。What the hell, bro? What is happening to you? What have you turned your life become? You know, you have so much of potential with you if you just decide to face your problem, but I choose not to at that point of time. So
I can totally relate because as a parent myself, right? When you see your child having that kind of accident, I think her some on top part already come out. In case some of you don't understand, it's like your soul already come out from your body, Scared the shit out of her.
Yeah. It was really scary because the entire people around there was saying that this guy is completely gone already, this guy is completely gone already. And yeah, I did not know until today. I do not know how I survived. And one thing was I wasn't even on my seatbelt at that time. I was blessed with this very good memory that I wasn't even on my seatbelt at that time. And I just somehow something just glued me to the chair, something just protected me all the way. And the scar that I had, people thought I fall down from a bike or something like that, right? So it was a crazy journey. It was a crazy journey that, yeah, thank God, at the end I learned from it.
Can you share with us, because after that whole tree experience, right, I'm sure there will be certain promises that you have made to yourself moving forward. What is the one thing that you like to do for your mom to make her proud? Is it okay to share?
Yeah. Well, back then I was telling myself that you gotta buy back this 𝗧𝗵𝗲 for your mom, this lost 𝗧𝗵𝗲 that for your mom, which I did. Now the second thing which I did was before this entire tiger thing. Okay, so after that. I told myself that this is what I need to do. No amount of money in the world will buy happiness for my mom as much as me being there for her. Well, there's a lot of young people that want to move out from the house, want to be independent, want to get away from the family, have their own space and things like that. I'm a little bit on the complete opposite side. I wanted to stay with my parents as long as they can, as long as I can, as long as they can. I wanted to be attentive to my mom. I wanted to give her things that you just cannot be bought with money, which is attention. I remember this one thing that I saw on the internet. It hits me quite hard as well. If your mom have been playing on the phone a lot and watching movie a lot, then you gotta ask yourself, hey, what the fuck are you doing? Because if you are willing to spend time to chat with them, talk with them, they would not get on those stupid phone movie or anything. It's because you are not paying enough attention to your parents.
Thank you for the reminder, because I think I'm guilty of that as
well. One day, you just got to look at your parents, sit down and really look at them, and you will realize that they are growing old quite rapidly, and time really would not wait. Time really would not wait. Create whatever memories it is with them, and cherish whatever moment it is. Our brain are so obsessed with the idea of future and present, future and past. Cling on to whatever that is in the past that is defining us, or looking just forward, but we forget that we actually live in the present. And when we just look at forward or live in the past, we forget that we are in the present. Happiness is never a journey. If happiness is a destination for you, if you thought that if I made 1 million ringgit, that 1 million ringgit will equal to happiness, then you are completely wrong. Because happiness is where you are right now. If you don't have happiness at where you are present, whatever in the future is not going to bring you happiness.
The funny thing, I was having a conversation with my team member today. Happiness is such a simple word, but it's so hard to achieve because a lot of people are looking externally, but actually a lot of the happiness is coming from internally. Right. So one last question before we end today's session. Kenny, are you married?
Okay, I'm not married, but I'm not sure if I should share this on live. I plan to propose somewhere near,
Don't spoil
very near
the
future.
don't spoil the surprise. Sorry, I just have to ask this because for your information, ladies and gentlemen, actually this is the first time we are having a real live chat with Kenny, because I really recently just met Kenny, right? And we noticed we've been speaking like old friends, and I really am grateful for Kenny to come on to do this show with us. And really now we have come to the end of the session. Thank you so much, Kenny. But I just want to take some time to wrap up and also share what is the who is the next speaker that is coming online, right? So thank you very much, Kenny. I learned a lot of things from you as well today. Although you are so much younger at my age, that's one of the reasons why I like to hang around people younger than me. And even like Amy mentioned that she learned something new, the so what method. And I just want to take a bit of time here to summarize the actual essence of your sharing tonight. So correct me if I'm wrong, like Kenny, right? Because when you went through that 3 crises, ultimately, when you hit your financial problem, right? And I couldn't say enough of this, but you did mention it a couple of times. I just want to point out to the listeners, a lot of the people right now, because when we're trying to solve their financial problem, they end up telling us they don't really have a financial problem. They actually have an income problem. So you mentioned many times that no matter what, it's really to get a job first, or learning how to sell, which is something which you mentioned earlier, that sort of give you that lifeline, that income coming in. Then only you begin to start managing your debt, because without that income or that lifeline, there's no way we can manage the debt or whatever expenditure that we eventually have to live with. And then after that, when you got to that situation, you didn't stop, which a lot of people would have stopped because they will get comfortable. You went on to do a side hustle while having your main job to sort of increase your income further by the pasar malam job, right? Which I think
correct.
A lot of respect from me, because not many people can do what you do. And then eventually, I think the biggest keyword here is this word called awareness, which something which we cannot really teach. It is something which all of us have to come from our own experience. Because just like, I think you agree with me, or common sense is sometimes not so common.
Yeah, true.
So awareness is something which I think everybody have to be aware. Sometimes it's the thing that we do not know. That is, if you're aware of that, then I think it's easier for us to pick ourselves up, just like how you pick yourself up 3 times. So thank you so much, Kenny. Any last parting words for our audience? If there's one thing out of this 3 or this whole experience, this TVB experience, that you want to leave before we end tonight's session?
One last thing that I really wanted to leave is stop leaving yourself with all these unnecessary burdens. Stop swimming in the sea with a stone. Stop holding the stone when you swim in the sea. Release the stones. The stone can be anything. The stone can be shame. The stone can be guilt. The stone can be procrastination. The stone can be ego or anything. If all of these things does not bring you good, find out why do you have all of these things. And truthfully, when you release whatever burden that you have, you will swim very, very fast. All right. So I think that's it for me. Thank you, Abby. She didn't say thank you. So thank you, Abby. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, 𝗂𝗏, for inviting me for this session to be able to share. In fact, I just reminded myself of something. After saying, there's something that I'm still procrastinating as well. I'm still human right now, but it gives me and myself a very good reminder that moving forward, there's things that I can improve as well.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kenny, for your lovely sharing. So before we end tonight's session, I just wanted to share that following week, I was very fortunate to be able to invite Casey Lau. For those of you who are in the personal finance space, he is sort of like the originator or the first person to sort of kickstart the personal finance space in Malaysia, and he has graciously also agreed to share his story, for how he first started and how he first hit his first roadblock and coming into something where he is right now, being successful and establishing himself as one of the founder, speaker, and author. So, next round, we won't be able to have it on Wednesday as usual because Casey is actually residing in US right now. So in order to accommodate both our audience as well as Casey's timing, next week's session will be on the 17th April, 11 a.m., right? So also as a parting gift, as a token of appreciation as well, Kenny, what I can do is really to offer you a one-to-one personal coaching to sort of give you some aha or blind spots to really help you to move forward in whatever that you hope to achieve. So that is the little thing that we can do as a appreciation for you coming on to this show. Thank you very much, everyone, for staying with us for the whole entire 1 hour. I hope you guys enjoy Kenny's sharing as well as to learn at least one thing from him. Thank you so much, Kenny, again.
Peace out. Bye. Right. Have a good night. Good evening, everyone. Bye.